again and again. Yes, I'm everybody's favorite big sister. I will tell you a little bit about the show. So it's a teen show, mainly. There you have it. That was a significant figure. Now you also can have. And how can you help your friends to move on after such a loss? Of course, more excitement, more fun. Did you miss me? Because I missed you. Welcome to another episode of Vibe with Vida. I'm so glad you could join me, and I'm always so excited to get back on your screen and just have a good time with you. And of course, this episode is no different. It's some excitement, some teen fun, movie experience, and also when I was a teen from our local celebrity, now you just have to stay tuned for you to know who came through this week. Yeah, I'm glad you could join me once again. Now let's get into the first question just after this break. Hi, is it okay for me to date a girl who is older than me? She is 19, I'm 18. Honey, I don't think someone who's like a year older than you is that much older than you. It's probably like months. 18 and 19, the difference is a year or even just months. So that's not so much older than you. It's not a problem at all. I doubt a year's difference it doesn't make two people act very different, because many would say you're in the same age range. That's what I would say. I would say you're in the same age range. And the girl, I don't think will come out even more mature than you. You're just the same. There's nothing wrong with you dating someone who's just 1 year older than you. Just go for it. If she likes you, go on, honey. Express your feelings, tell her, and you can date the two of you. 18 is alright to date. 19 and 18, feel free to do what you want to do right now. No restrictions whatsoever. Now, moving on, let's get into when I was a teen. Let's check out who came through this week.
Before we get into that, let me see if I can transition from when I was a little younger to being a teenager. I grew up mostly with my father. My mother wasn't around at the time when I was growing up. She left when I was 13 years old. You know, she had to go and do some other businesses and whatnot. So growing up was kind of strange for me a little bit, because I don't think I had I wouldn't want to say like a normal teenage life that everybody else had, but mine was a little different because I stayed with my father. So you don't have that motherly I don't want to say the wrong things, but just growing up with your mother, I didn't have that. Most of the people had that, so mine was a little different. But I learned quite a bit, and it was not easy, to be honest. But as I grew up into a teenager, it was very rough, because it was a time when my parents were not really together, and things were not exactly very good for my father at the time. So it was a bit tricky, and I had a very, very rough life growing up as a teenager. There's so many memories. I mean, I can't preempt everything, but it was pretty rough. I looked up to my father a lot. My father was a very hard-working man. At the time, he didn't really have much, but I saw so many examples. I saw what he would do just to make sure that I went to school, we had a meal, and so I always looked up to him and said, when I grow up, I'm never gonna give any excuses. You don't want to grow up and say, oh, I don't have this because I didn't manage to get into college or go to university. You don't want to give no excuses. You just see how somebody works, and nobody can give an excuse. So I saw that example from him, and I thought, what? That's exactly what I want to be when I grow up. He was a perfect role model for me. So yeah, I'd say my father was my inspiration. Football. At some point, I thought I was going to become a football player. I really believed I was going to be a football player. I love football so much. I played it so much, but for some reason, I never made it into the school team. And I always wondered why I didn't make it into the school team. Then at some point, I just figured maybe I wasn't good enough to make the school team. So the quicker I realized that was not exactly my talent, I looked elsewhere. So yeah, football was my favorite thing growing up. I was actually a prefect in secondary school. I was at McKinney Islamic School. I was one of the prefects, one of the 4 prefects, and I think I was the youngest. I mean, in the class, I think there was the 2 or 3 of us that were pretty young. So to get that position was a bit crazy because I was small in stature. I mean, I was tall even as a teenager, but I was very young. Everybody else was older than me, and having that position was pretty good. Yeah, I was a prefect. I was a more of a reserved guy in school. Most of my friends that I see now, like, say, but how come you never participated in things like debates? And, I never really participated in things like that, but, I used to enjoy watching them. I did participate in a bit of some drama here and there, but I was not that active in school. So that's the reason why everybody that sees me now gets surprised, like, in school you were the reserved guy and now you're the entertainer. You're on TV, you're on radio. How did that happen? So I was a reserved guy. I used to love all that activity, but I didn't really get into it because I didn't think I was going to get into it. I only knew I was going to become an entertainer after I completed school. That's when I knew. But growing up, even in school, I always thought I was going to complete school. I was going to go to university. I was going to go to college. I was going to get my degree, and I was going to have a job. That's all I knew until entertainment came my way. Everybody does have a crush. Yes, I did. Yeah, I did. A couple, actually. There was this lady from Tanzania. I think she was 2 grades. Yeah, she was 2 grades behind me. She was short and very pretty. I think she kind of liked me too. So, we used to send recorded messages to each other, but we never really met like that. But yeah, I'd see her from a distance because I was in Islamic school, so we never used to mix. The ladies were on the other side, the guys on the other side. So you won't really meet like that unless when you get off school, then you're walking home, then you meet. But you're always shy to talk to the person. So, and I've never seen her after that, and I don't even know if I remember her because that was well over 20 years ago. I was 20 years old. Yeah, I was 20 years old. I completed school. That was 2 years after I'd completed school. That's when I got into a relationship. That was my very first relationship. I'd say I started a bit late because at the time all my friends, already had girlfriends, from the 11th grade or the 10th grade. They would all talk about how they have a girlfriend, and I had to complete school first to have a girlfriend. So I think I started a bit late. I was 20. Excuse me. Well, like I said, I didn't exactly grow up with my mom. So we never really built that relationship with my mom. But, now we have a relationship. We talk on almost on a daily basis. So we're starting to really build a relationship because this is different. I mean, talking on the phone, and there was a period of time when we didn't really talk for like maybe 10 years, because she was in another country and I was here. So it's a bit crazy, but yeah, I think we have some sort of relationship now. We talk almost all the time. We're trying to catch up. But I had a very good relationship with my father. My father was like my best friend. He used to take me everywhere. He wanted me to learn, just know so many things. He taught me a lot of lessons, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know so many people that would spend so much time with their father like I did. For me, it was kind of normal, and I partly I enjoyed it because I enjoyed his company. He had very good stories, and yeah, so I was very close to my father. I kind of miss him actually. Yeah, that's another situation. I didn't grow up with any one of my siblings. Everybody left when I was 13 years old. My 2 elder sisters left when I was about 3 or 4 years old. They went to West Africa. That's where my father originally came from. Then my other siblings left when I was like I said, I was 13 years old. My sister was 11. My other brother was 7. The other one was like 4 years old. So after they went, I saw them for the first time 6 years ago, after about 16, 17 years. So I don't have any relationship with any one of my siblings because I didn't grow up with any one of my siblings. But you know, we talk almost all the time. We talk almost on a daily basis. And my siblings are all over the place. I've got a brother in France. I've got some older brothers in West Africa, in Burkina Faso, some in Guinea. I've got a sister in Angola. So you know, everybody is in different places. I didn't have the opportunity to grow up with siblings in the same house. So I don't know how that feels. But yeah, I saw my other siblings a couple of months ago when I traveled to Guinea, and I would say it doesn't even feel like I missed out so much, you know, even if we didn't grow up together, you know, because of the fact that we still communicated, I kind of feel like we still had a relationship, and, you know, we still connect, and there's nothing strange about anything because, you know, yeah. I think mine is straightforward, really. The example that I said to people that look at me is, you have to work hard. You know, I mean, you see that in my ethics, in whatever I do, I try to do it as good as I can. You know, and never to box yourself and limit yourself to say you can do whatever you want to do. So whoever is looking up to me is saying, wow, I mean, if KB can do that, you know, why wouldn't I? And you know, I think that's the path that they'll be on. You know, for me, it's always been that focus. Work hard. You know, you might not have as much as you have at that particular moment, but you have to keep going and keep going until you get what you want to get, and you can get it. You know, it's testimony. I started with nothing, you know, but I might not be where I want to be, but I'd say I have some of the things that I always wanted to. So I think that's the example that I said to the younger ones coming up. If you follow the footsteps, you can even be 10 times more successful than I am.
I'm always telling you, let me know who you want to see on the show, and your girl Vida would definitely bring them onto the screen, no matter who. They're just a phone call away, and yeah, your wish is my command. Now moving on, let's get into the movie experience. Okay, for another movie experience, I'm here with my ticket winner. Well, should I say ticket winner? Because I just gave you this one. This is a familiar face on Vibe with Vida. I gave her a movie ticket, but last time we didn't really get to chat. So she was like, Vida, give me another ticket, then we can get to chat. And I said, yeah, why not watch the movie together? So we're from watching the movie together. How did you find Robin Hood?
It was very nice.
You enjoyed it?
Very much.
Now, you watched the first one. You watched the first one, and I'm only watching this one. So how's the storyline for you in both movies?
It's fine. In that the first one was a comedy and this one is an action, so it's fine.
Oh, there's some comedy in the first one.
There is.
Oh no! I'm saying you had said you watched Robin.
Oh yeah.
Robin Hood. You watched the first one because this is the sequel.
Oh yeah. They're kind of similar. But for the first one, Robin was Elena. Kylie was a thief, so it was Elena.
Oh, it's straight from the books because I used to read.
Yes, the second one he's an expert now.
Okay. Now, how are you feeling? It's almost Christmas, I guess. It's almost Christmas. How's the feel for you? The festivities?
It's a time of sharing and giving. It's really nice. It's a nice feeling.
How are you going to spend Christmas?
With the family, of course.
You want to come to the cinema to watch a movie with the family?
No, we'll be home.
You just be home. Okay, it's been great watching the movie with you.
Yes.
You actually made, like out of my own choice. I don't think I was going to see that movie, but I enjoyed it. I loved it.
It's so good.
So it's great that we got to see the movie. Yes, so this is my ticket winner for this. Well, ticket winner. I don't know how to call it, but yeah, I had the movie experience with her and had so much fun. I'll see you again on the other side. And pretty amazing, giving away a few movies just like that. Well, you want to be the next movie winner? You're already doing your bit? Well, you're trying by staying tuned to the show. What you need to do more is interact with us. So when you interact with us being me, you could stand an even higher chance of winning a movie ticket. That's a plus one makes for two. You know what I mean? Like I give you a ticket, then you can invite another person. So it's a plus one, which makes for two. Now let's move on and get into the last question. Hello, how can I help my friend who is being abused at home? Look, abuse in any form is not acceptable and it needs to be reported to the rightful authorities. Or if you're scared to report to the police or a victim support, well, that's the police, that's the section, a victim support section of the police. You could talk to an elderly in your home. Talk to them to be the voice for your friend who's being abused. If you're afraid to go that high, to report that high. I know it's hard for you to be the voice of a friend, but if you're seeing abuse in any way, you need to report it. I cannot even say anything else about it. It just needs to be reported. That's the right thing you can do. There's no other way of helping apart from even try to convince the victim to be the one to report. Because by keeping quiet, no matter the threats or whatever is being told to them for them to keep their mouths shut, no matter what, it will not help their situation unless they report, and people can, maybe other family members can actually find them a safer place to stay. Or if not the family, there are lots of organizations actually looking to take in people that are being abused and give them to the right families, like adoption to the right families. So don't let someone stay being abused, because all this has negative effects in the future. They might stay in and try to pretend to be strong, but in the end, these are the cases we get to see that teenagers are trying to commit suicide and all that negativity. Please report to someone older than you that can be able to take it up from a grown person's perspective. They'll know what to do and know whom to talk to. On that note, we come to the end of this week's show. I'm so glad you could join me. I'm so glad you could keep it diamond, and you should continue to do that because we have a lot in store for you, especially this festive season. So many giveaways. I'm so excited about December. Now, yeah, that's it from me this week. However, I'll be back on your screens next week with more specials on Vibe with Vida. So yeah, keep it diamond.